Okay, students, this lesson is about solving equations that are multi-step, meaning you have more than two steps. Very simple, just like the other two. Here are your steps. Let's look at them first before we try to do a problem. First, you're going to simplify each side of the equation if needed. So what you're going to do is, if you see parentheses, you want to distribute first. Then you want to combine like terms on the right and combine like terms on the left by just adding or subtracting. Next, you will then move all the x terms to one side and all the individual numbers, integers, to the other side. And then you will simplify the problem by either dividing or multiplying. Let's do one together. Take a look at this first problem right here. We have 8x plus 17 equals 2x plus 35. Remember I told you the first step is to clear parentheses. There are no parentheses here, so we've got that first step covered. Now you want to get all the x terms on one side and all the numbers on the other side. So I like to have my x's on the left if I can. It's not necessary, but I also like to keep that coefficient of x positive. It makes it easier to work with, I find. So I have an 8x on the left and a 2x on the right. I want the 2x to be over here with 8x. The 2x is positive, so what do? We use the opposite or the inverse operation. So I'm going to subtract 2x, and I'm going to do the same thing on the left, minus 2x. Draw my line. These cancel. 8x plus negative 2x is 6x plus 17. That comes down. The equal comes down, and the 35 comes down. That's the first step. Your second step now, I apologize, that is your second step. So get x values on one side and numbers on the other. Okay? So we've gotten all the x terms on the left. Now let's get our numbers on the right. So I have a positive 17. We know we do what? We subtract it, real easy. Minus 17, minus 17. I draw my line. Positive 17 plus negative 17 is 0, so that cancels. 6x comes down, equals 35 minus 17. That's going to be an 8 and a 1, so that's 18. Since I don't have a lot of room right here, actually I can do it. Now we'll get x by itself. Divide by the coefficient. That's a 6. The 6's cancel, and I have x equals 18 minus 6 is 3. And that's your answer. So let's go back and see what we did. We moved there were no parentheses to clear. So we moved the x over to the left, the 2x over, moved the 17 over to the right, brought everything down that wasn't canceled out, divided by the coefficient of the x, and got our answer. If you want to see if it's correct, you can plug the 3 back in, and you'll get an equal side. So 8 times 3 is 24. 24 plus 17 is 24, 34, 41. So I got 41 on the left. If I put the 3 in here, 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 35 is 41. 41 equals 41. That's how we know that answer is correct. Okay? Stop the video, and I want you to do number 2. Now I'm going to show you one more example. Let's take a look at the next problem. Let's look at, you did number 2, so let's look at number 3 right here. So I have m plus 3 equals 9m minus 13. Again, we want to get the letters on one side and the numbers on the other side. Okay? Now, you might say, well, Ms. Norman, you like to get your letters on the left. Yes, I do. But if I move this over, I'm going to have a negative number in front of that m. It doesn't really matter, but if you want to keep it positive, take your smaller term, and we know what's in front of this m right here, that's a 1, right? Take your smaller term to the larger term, and you'll end up with positive numbers. So let's see. If I go minus 1m and minus 1m, draw my line. These cancel. I have 3 equals 9 plus negative 1 is 8m minus 13. So I've got all my m's now on the right. Remember, it doesn't matter which side you move them to, as long as you're consistent within the problem. Now I want my numbers without a variable all on the left. So I have a minus 13, so I go plus 13, plus 13. These cancel. 13 plus 3 is 16 equals 8m. Divide both sides by the coefficient of the variable. So let's divide both sides by 8. And this cancels, so I have 2 equal m. Or you might write it m equal 2. They're both okay. Now I'd like you to stop and try a couple of these other problems right here. Now I'm going to show you problems that have terms you have to put together on the same side. These are called like terms. So, one of the steps you want to do after you clear parentheses, let's try it so I can type on it. Let's add some notes. Okay, after you clear those parentheses, you want to add like terms. Okay, add like terms. Okay, so let's think about this. There's the equal sign. So this is the left side and that's the right side. Look on the left side. Are there any terms that I could add or subtract together, I could put together? Yes, there are. I notice my like terms over here are the negative 5x and the 3x. They can be added together. So, negative 5 plus 3x, that's negative 2x. So now I've taken care of these two, and what comes down? Minus 16. Then I have my equal sign, and then over here there are no like terms, so they just come down. Now